r/ask Reddit.
They say there are no stupid question, but what's the most stupid question you have ever been asked? Is the ice cream served cold? Usually as a waiter, I can game face almost anything, but there's no way my face didn't read, "The fuck you just say?" I was out with friends once at a restaurant and we asked the waiter how the rack of ribs was. He replied, "They are excellent," in a firm, confident tone. So I ordered them, while my friend Mike decided on something else. We get the food, the ribs are great, I shared a rib with Mike, he loved it. But when the waiter comes back to ask how everything was, Mike, being a Mike, says this shit, "Well, I would have ordered the ribs if I'd known they were gonna be that good," and the waiter looks at him bug-eyed and yelled, literally yelled, "I said they were excellent." What would have convinced you, excellent plus? Was that the answer you needed? We left that guy a damn good tip and have never let Mike forget it. I get asked the opposite more often than most people would expect. Why is the ice cream cold? Like what? Then there are the ones who wait till it has all melted into a soup and then they drink it. Where I work, we give a cup of free ice cream to everyone. Apologies sir, at this establishment we exclusively serve ice cream at piping hot temperatures only. Girl, hey, what's the capital of the world again? I said Detroit. Well, that would explain the current state of the world. Source, am from Detroit. I just googled it. It's sorry New York, but London. Never heard of it. I guess it would be The Hague. Helsinki maybe. Somewhere in that part of the world for sure. Do you speak Canadian? I thought it was a bad joke. It wasn't. I am Australian born and moved to the US when I was 23. My first job was one where I spoke to a lot of people on the phone. My favorite call was one where someone asked me where I was from, and I said, Australia. She said, "Oh, you would never know, you speak English so well." After meeting many Australians, I too am surprised when they speak English well. I live in Norway and there's this girl in my class who's very stupid and loves to lie, so not a good combo. She said she had family in Canada and we asked if she talks to them once in a while and this girl said, "No, I don't talk to them that much, since I don't speak Canadian." 4.4. Some, not many, but some of my friends have this kind of thing happen when visiting England. What language do you speak in Scotland, cause your English is great? I work IT, asked a person if her mouse was wired or wireless. She said, "How am I supposed to know that? This is your job. Tell her to grab the mouse and start walking away from the computer and see how far she can get lost." Then she calls him like, "Hello, yeah, so I've been walking with my mouse now for over 10 miles, how am I supposed to know if that's enough?" I worked at Blockbuster Video in 2004 for 6 months. I had 3 unrelated incidents, but the words and tone of all 3 were uncannily identical. They answered the question immediately before asking it. And they still didn't know the answer. "Yeah, I know my movie was late. Why do I have to pay a late fee?" I worked there during the no late fees * era. If you kept a movie longer than 30 days it would charge to your account as a sale. If you brought it back after that, you'd be refunded the sale price minus a $1.25, I think, restocking fee. I had to deal with so many people complaining about the restocking fee, as if they thought arguing with a minimum wage register monkey would change the company's bait and switch policy. Yes, it's a fee for being late. Yes, it's disingenuous to charge the restocking fee while advertising no late fees. But you paid $5 and kept a new release for the entire 2 months it was popular, Karen. The store lost money because we couldn't rent that copy to anyone else while you had it. So shut up and pay your dollar, or go complain to corporate. Just leave my $8 an hour ass out of it. As a fellow Blockbuster employee, I could not agree more with this statement. My years there vastly changed my view of average human intelligence. Anyone who has worked in a retail or service position shares that similar view that very definitively takes the shine off some of the wonders of human achievement after seeing some of the depths that humanity plumbs. I live in a very popular tourist town. Is there anything to do around here? We've already seen the Walmart. Here in the United States it is customary to pay your respects to the local Walmart when visiting a new town. To be fair, if I would ever visit the US I would love to visit a Walmart. If it is anything like the internet says it is, it would be like a human cabinet of curiosities. Those things are huge. Like, legit 3 times as big as the biggest supermarket in my hometown, in Chile. Americans make fun of it, but my family and I would go supermarkets to tourist around and laugh at all the weird thing they sell, like cheese in a can. WTF. As someone who lives in arguably the cheese capital of the world, I'm a bit disturbed by the thought of cheese in a can. I'm a cheese lover and I am physically offended by the idea of cheese in a can. My brother works in Washington, D.C. He was asked by some tourists where the Capitol building was. As the dome was clearly visible behind him, he turned and pointed, "It's right there." I live in D.C. and someone asked me where the National Mall was and I was like, "You're standing on it." They responded, "Yeah, but like where are the stores?" Did you choose to be half Asian? Yes, this was an actual question that was asked of me. Late response to the comments, I'm half Japanese and I look vaguely white, Asian. So no, I did not choose. I was born looking like a mix between a white person and an Asian person. Can you, like, at least choose which half of you is Asian? My left half is Asian, but I had no say in the matter. I get a different version of this because of my darker skin. Where are you from? Canada? No, but actually Canada. Family's been here for 4 generations, but people ask me this to find out if I am First Nations because it matters to them. That's up there with what kind of Asian are you? Edit, answer, the American kind. A friend once asked my other friend who was a history teacher, what was the president's reaction to JFK's assassination? His mind was blown. Oh man, that's too good. His mind was scattered ever since and had trouble keeping his thoughts in his head. This is a terrible act of violence. This is the most terrible act of violence in US history. Sad. No president has ever been in such a terrible situation, ever. I worked retail. A woman who did not have her child with her asked me if I thought a piece of clothing would fit her child. Retail, I got this one all the time. Would this fit my child? She's 6, ma'am, I'm a teenager putting clothes on hangers for a living, I don't know shit about your child. 6 inches is a pretty small child. Retail is a special place for stupid questions. Would my husband like this tie? Sure. He seems like a pinstripes kind of guy. When I worked retail, someone asked me how thick the toilet paper was that we sold. Like the actual measurements. I've never heard anyone ask for any dimensions of toilet paper, let alone the thickness. Like the entire roll or one sheet. I could see the entire roll because some of those TP holders are built into the walls and an overly plush roll might not fit or spin correctly. True, but no, he wanted to know how thick each sheet was. When I told him I didn't know, he asked if anybody else might and I just had to refer to him, the manufacturer. I think he might have been talking about how many plies the toilet paper was. You can usually find that on the packaging. That's what I was thinking of as well. Never go single ply unless you are desperate. I'm thinking about getting this for my husband. Do men like this? Ma'am, it depends on the man. I did retail for a bit, and while I was asked a lot of stupid questions, my funniest story is about me being clueless about teeny pop. A woman came in and asking me for a One Direction notebook. I said, I thought they all went in one direction. Later I was telling someone about and they start laughing. Once they were done they told me it was a band. Had no idea. I called to order a pizza, half plain and half pepperoni. Pizza girl, sounding unsure, I guess we could do that. Which half do you want the pepperonis on? The bottom half. You animal, they go on the top half. Edit, who gave me silver for this, you nutter, but thank you. Can't you drive to Hawaii? Well, they do have an interstate highway. Yeah, I had to look that one up as it should be an interstate highway, but as Hawaii receives federal funding for its highways it becomes an interstate system.